Hey there, Crystal Thompson here for Simon Says Stamp. I'm so excited to be here with you, showing you the October 2020 card kit called Happy Fall Y'all. We're going to be doing a fall craft set of cards using Copic markers and, of course, the awesome October card kit. For this, we are going to start by stamping up the fall Happy Fall Y'all from Simon Says Stamp. This is included in the card kit. It's actually quite cute. Then I'm going to use 2 pieces of Kraft cardstock that I have ran through my die cutting machine with rounded edges and little scored corners. I'm going to grab the Misty, and so this is the smaller Misty, making sure that it's going to stay down. And the reason why is that I want this piece of cardstock and the foam. I'm finding that I keep lifting the foam, so we can do several layers of stamping. I'm going to grab that bear. I'm going to place him right on the center with enough room to add a coffee cup to his arm. And so I'm going to use the Simon Says Stamp Intense Black Copic Friendly ink. This is going to be super cool for doing any Copic coloring. And I'm going to end up doing it twice because Kraft cardstock does tend to have a little more texture. And so by using a stamp positioner, it allows you to come back and stamp that image twice and get it very dark and very crisp image. And another thing, if once you're done coloring with your Copics, you can reuse the image if you don't remove it to stamp over that Copic coloring to really get that image super black and super clean and crisp. And so if you're seeing your favorite card makers and their Copic coloring is really nice and dark, like the image is dark, is because they're probably coming back and stamping over that Copic. So just a little heads up. I'm going to stamp the little coffee cup again that I placed to his hand. He's kind of saying, hey, let's do coffee soon. So we'll move on to the Copic coloring aspect of this. I'm going to start with his ears and his low cheeks. And as you can see, I've used a very nice light pink. We're going to move on to the rest. And I kind of like to do the shadowing of whatever image I am doing first. And as you can see, I'm doing the outer edges, leaving the interior, that center part of the bear or the sweater, whatever it ends up being, nice and clean. Like we're only adding one layer of Copic. And the reason why is that it makes it look like you have a spotlight right on the center. So I'm going to let that sit. And I feel that it looks kind of splotchy right after you color, let that Kraft cardstock absorb the Copic color. It looks really nice and it really softens up. Again, moving on to doing just the shadows of all my coloring for this orange part of his sweater. I'm loving this fall looking sweater. It's super cute. He's very festive. And he just kind of reminds me, he looks super cute, right? So we're going to finish that orange Copic coloring. And then I realized I forgot his little belly. So I'm going to come back, do shadows again, and then fill in the center. So you can see we're not having to do a ton of blending, but Kraft cardstock really allows you to do a lot of blending and it doesn't tear up the cardstock. All the materials used for this card are going to be listed down below, all available on the Simon Says store. And I hope that you get this kit. It's pretty cute. All right, that's my spiel there. I'm going to move on to finishing up this coloring. It did take me a good 10 minutes. This is a good activity to do in front of the TV or in a road trip or something. And he just looks very happy. He's very festive. You can come back with a white marker or a white pen and add some little details to him if you like. I have added some white cornstarch to the area that I'm going to do some heat embossing. It's going to prevent any staticky or the embossing powder to stick to our Copic image. So make sure that your coloring is completely dry before you go adding any embossing powder, or it can stick and then ruin your awesome coloring. So I have the Coffee Soon from the Happy Fall Y'all set, and I heat set it. To finish up the card, I grabbed the same colors of Copics that I used for the sweater for the bear, and I am adding different sizes of little dots to him. This is going to create some dimension and just kind of add some more color to the background. It doesn't look so plain, yet it still looks very nice and fall themed. I'm going to continue with all the little dots, and again, it's all the same colors from the sweater and the bear, and adding those little guys, little embellishments. You can even add Nuvo drops if you chose to. Again, I'm trying to keep within the parameters of just the kit, so I'm going to move on to our next card. For the second card of this video, again, we're going to be using a piece of Kraft cardstock and 2 of the leaf images from the Happy Fall Y'all set. We're going to create a wreath with this using the Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink. So we're going to stamp, stamp, stamp. And I wanted to create a wreath, right? So it needs to be in a circle. I usually like to draw a circle with a pencil, then I can erase the mark, but I decided to freehand it here. So I did the, the circular shape as best as I could with that one stamp. And then I'm going to fill in the rest with the, I want to say those are aspen leaves. With the, no, maybe it's not an aspen leaf. I don't know what they are. Wonky maple leaves is what they are. And so we're going to fill out that and we are ready to color. So I have all my Copic Coloring and I'm going to fast forward this one as well. I'm going to add all my shadow and I wanted to create 2-toned leaves. I feel that makes more for more realistic leaves. And on this one, I am not doing a ton of blending. I feel like I'll do a lot less blending with this than I did with the bear from the earlier part of the video. So we're gonna color that. So you see how cool the green will mix in with the orange. It doesn't have any harsh lines, and that's really, I really like Kraft cardstock for that reason, because it really absorbs it and it kind of spreads it. So be sure not to get too close to the edges when coloring, because if you saturate the cardstock, the color can bleed from where you just colored it. I'm going to follow along the lines, changing my marker from a yellow to a green to a darker green, back to a darker brown, and really finishing that. I felt like kind of looked kind of empty, so I'm going to go back to my trusty little circles, my little dots with the markers, and I'm going to go dot, dot, dot all over the place to fill out that wreath. And this is a great way to fill out wreaths if you don't want to add any more elements. I'm going to grab the large stamp Happy Fall Y'all from the same kit, from the same stamp set, using my Simon Says Stamp Embossing watermark ink. I'm going to stamp this down, and since I didn't use a Misty, I'm being brave here. I'm going to hold it down for just a couple seconds to really let that cardstock absorb that embossing ink. I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to bring my embossing powder back in. For this, I have selected the Penny from Brutus Monroe. This is also available on the Simon Says store, and I am kind of dumping it back onto a scrap piece of printer paper so I can put it back in my container. So there you have it. Happy fall, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and heat set and get ready to go. And guys, that does it for me. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this quick tutorial making 2 cards using the October 2020 card kit. All products are listed below. If you're new to YouTube channel, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what your thoughts are. Like, comment, and share. And please click subscribe. Thanks so much. Have an amazing day.